yeah. And I thought the font will be larger, but if you want the presentation, I think the organizers can send it to you, and also you can take photos if you want. And those who follow me, they will receive this presentation, I think, through social media channels. And the first thing that you should know, and the most like common mistake that I see in everyone's essay, is that they think an essay to be a place where they should mention each of the achievement that they had in their life. But however, this is not the case. They will have your CV and other like application forms, so they will see the things that you achieved. What they want to know in the through the essay about is who you are, what you value, and your journey. And I will speak about it more in the next slides. Also, they want to know your purpose, what drives you, and where you are heading, and what goals you have associated with this program. And three main questions that you need to answer is that why now, why you, and why this program. And we will break down these questions, and I think that will be the easiest way for you and to understand what are the main things that are like expected from you. So why now? Some of you are graduating, some of you are finishing maybe school, and this is kind of a changing moment that can be one of the points when you think now is the moment when I need to have a graduate degree. However, another question may arise: why would you need it now? Like, why won't you work? Why won't you try some new experiences before masters? And this is a question that admissions have to you. Why do you want a master's degree right now? Or if you are planning to apply to another place, maybe exchange program or internship, this question can be also like similar. Of course, it's not so critical as in the case of master's application, but still you need to explain what are the things that are pushing you to have a master's degree now. So what made you realize that you need it in a year or maybe in 2 years if you are starting to prepare early? It can be a moment of clarity. So maybe you encountered something in your life which helped you to understand that now I need to deepen my knowledge in this specific area. Or you understood that at the university during your bachelor study you didn't acquire enough knowledge or experience in a certain area. So maybe you need more courses on this specific topic because, for example, maybe are there any international relations students here or not? Okay, so for example, I worked with one of international from the SDU, actually SDU University, international relations student, and she said that the undergraduate program was very like general, and she needs to specify in a specific area within international relations, and that will be possible thanks to the graduate program. And this was one of the reasons why she needs it now, because otherwise she won't be able to work on the projects that she wants. So you have to be clear to yourself and to the graduate program. Of course, there may be some reasons such as отработка, yes, or I say it in Russian on purpose, and also for boys it can be hard because there is an army's duties. But other than that, the reasons that you have to explain to the graduate program is that what made you realize that now is the best time for you to get this degree. Another is why you. So what journey you had, what shaped you, that you are the perfect candidate for this program. And you may have heard this question, like, what makes you a perfect candidate? But at the same time, this question may seem very difficult because we don't know like what makes us special. How should we convince admissions that they should choose us if we don't know that ourselves? Like we may have doubts about us, and everyone else may seem successful except us. But breaking this down, you can see it's what your journey, your values and personality, and your contribution that you can bring to the program. So I'm really sorry that it's small because on my laptop it was large. So your journey is your specific experience throughout like your undergraduate program. So if you still have time, but you don't have enough experience before graduate program, I advise you to take more time or start doing the things that you enjoy now, because these things that make you happy at the same time make your experience richer, this will help you to describe them. Like, what specific challenges did you overcome? For example, during my studies, undergraduate studies, I was the president of Red Crescent, or you may know it as Red Cross. So we had several challenges. One of them was making a team like united during COVID, because we didn't met online. Some people, like we met them after about 1 year or more. So this can be one example of a challenge, when you have to show your leadership qualities that helped you to make people united. Even though it was online, you managed to connect with each of them, and you show that you can be a person who can guide and inspire others despite different obstacles. That can be it's one simple example. Also, what have you learned about yourself through your experiences? What makes you unique is your past, because no one else had what you had in your life. It can be something from your family experience, life experience, professional experience, university experience, and also cultural experience, because for some of us, we may have specific background that other people don't. So everything that made you, like, when you think of things that in deep in your heart, you know what makes you different from others. And when I was applying to Brown, I thought, what I want them to know is that I'm truly passionate about helping others. I can do it for free. I can do it like without resting. So I want to deliver this thought for them in different ways through different examples from my life. And your values and personality, like what drives you. Many people have like similar values, but also at the same time, we may have some things that make us specifically unique. For example, yesterday, I had a consultation with my mentee, and we were talking a lot. And what I found out is that she has a value that, for example, I don't have. She specifically values safety. For me, I don't think about turning the plug off, or I don't think like if I did something, if I close the window. But for her, it's very important. Like, it stems from her childhood, and because of that, she became a self-defense instructor. So she helps girls to defend themselves from men mainly, and she became a professional instructor. And initially, she didn't understand herself, like why she does it. Yes, it's important, but why specifically for her it's important? And we discovered that her core value is safety, and even though you will not include that in your essay, but it can help you guide your path in general, like understand yourself, because when you understand yourself, it's much easier for you to explain yourself to others. Then, what do you believe in deeply? For example, I believe in power of communication, and I think that those who are sitting here, Qazaq Toastmaster members, they also believe in the power of communication. Through communication, you can reach to someone's heart, you can change some situation. A word can make or break. It can change the war, or it can give you money, scholarship, right, funding. So if we all knew about how to use communication properly, that would improve everyone's life. So this is what I deeply believe in. This is my belief. And you can think of what I deeply believe in, what things that I had in my childhood or maybe in adulthood that helped me to think like, I believe in these things. And even though I'm like exhausted, I will recharge and get back to these things, because it's so rewarding uniquely for me. Like, other people may not understand me. And how your values show up in your work, leadership, or services. Like, you have to, here, this is a specific part of self-reflection. You reflect on yourself. You can have a look at yourself as your friend. Like, imagine yourself not to be yourself, but your friend, and try to analyze your behavior through a lens like if it was your best friend. Because when we analyze ourselves, we are very harsh. But when we look at our best friends, we see their best qualities, and this may help you to see your strengths and unique qualities. And also don't say just the adjective itself. Like, for example, I am passionate about something. If you say I am passionate about something, that's not convincing. You have to show it. You show it through the picture. You help them to imagine a situation where you are in. Like right now, I'm standing here explaining some things, and writing that, I will help them to show what kind of person I am, instead of saying that I am a communicative person. And your contribution, what you bring to the table, what is your specific strengths that help, and experience and background with which you help to make the audience diverse and discussions more rich. So it can be the different things. For example, it can be a professional expertise, right? So you, by working in a specific field for, even if it's an internship, for most of us here are very young, so you don't have a 10-year experience in a certain field, but still, if you had an internship, or you were a member of a specific organization for like, 2 years, right? You can show what kind of things and the perspectives you gained from that experience and bring it to the table. Here, due to the limited amount of time, I will not read everything. You can take a picture or ask for the presentation to be sent. These examples, they should provide you with an idea on how to explain what you bring. These are not like the sole experiences or things that you can write. It can be anything, but just you have to be clear about what you bring to the table. What can you help like open up in discussion? It can be a Central Asian identity, Kazakh identity, or like your experience in working with children in like South Kazakhstan, for example. And why this program? When you explain it, lots of students, they just, because it's a world-class university, I encountered it a lot. Instead of that, you should never write that kind of thing. You should explain why this program is a perfect match for you, not because it's prestigious, because it's Harvard, but because it has professors and subjects that you need, and you just don't just list them, because otherwise it will be a name dropping. You explain why them, with what things they provide you, and how these things provided from this course will help you achieve your goals. Because and that you can know from their website. You can visit the website, find the curriculum of the program, its description, and learning outcomes. If you don't find it, you can use ChatGPT to understand what this subject can give you, and analyze, do I need it? And if I do, how can I implement it in my future goals? And then you explain it. So key aspects: be authentic, be yourself. They want to know who you are, your voice. Don't use ChatGPT for writing, only for brainstorming or checking grammar. But for writing, never use ChatGPT, because even if you don't write perfectly, they want to know your voice. They want to know who is the person behind all of these achievements, documents. Be honest, because if you lie, it may somehow like be exposed, and then they may put you in a blacklist, and this is not the thing that we want. Show, don't tell. Don't tell I am good or I am the best. Show how exactly, in what situation you showed your qualities. Be specific, not generic. So when you explain and show different arguments, be as much specific as possible, because if you write a sentence that can be put in everyone's essay, this is a generic sentence. If it's the sentence that suits only your essay, then it's specific enough. Smooth flow, focused and reflective. So writing, even if it's not perfect, you have to try to be clear. It has to be easy to read, because admissions read a lot of essays. You help them by making it smooth and clear. And how you do it? You do it through focused writing. Each absatz, each paragraph has a specific purpose. One paragraph is for one experience. Second paragraph is for another experience. You don't put everything into one paragraph and make it like very like noisy thing. Be reflective. Analyze what experiences shaped you, what you learned from them, what you realized from them, and how can you implement that in the future, and how it helped you to shape your goals. Working with students, right now I work as a student experience officer at the Moffat University. I understood that many students, they don't know like what motivates them specifically, and I understood that I want to help them to find their motivation. This is like an example of reflection. I analyzed what I did, what I noticed, and then what I want to change. So clear answers to these three questions that we discussed. And yeah, thank you for your attention. I hope that was useful. We can elaborate more on some things. So if you have questions, I will be happy to answer.
So thank you for such informative presentation. Yeah, I guess any questions? Yeah, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for sharing valuable information with us. So I have a question. Okay, I got overall understanding about this essay, but I want to know about its importance. For example, I have an average academic background, and if I'm competing with someone who's better than me, what are the chances of writing a good essay and winning a course?
Okay, thank you for your question.
I mean, can it change?
Yeah, it can. This is a good question. And that's why it's very important to write clearly and everything that I mentioned, because essay can change your situation. Even if some person is better than you, if you explain why you need this program, why it's perfect for you and you perfect for them, they may choose you over another experienced candidate, but who explained his motivation like less clearly. For example, there may be a person with 5-year experience and you are only graduating, but that person, he didn't show enough motivation in his essay. He didn't put effort. But if you put effort, even if you don't have like outstanding experiences, by explaining what are your future motivations and goals, you can show them. You don't put attention like a specific focus on your weaknesses. You show only good parts, and you show the level of self-analysis. Like, I had these experiences. For us, some of our experiences may seem as something usual, but for them, if you present it in a good way, it can be a change-making situation. For example, I had a mentee. She created a YouTube channel and uploaded videos in Kazakh language to prepare for UNT, for Kazakh-speaking people, students. For her, it was just like her little sister asked her to help with UNT preparation, and she noticed that there is a lack of materials, and she started posting on YouTube. And it was something that she just did in the beginning just for her sister, but just decided to post it so that other people can see. And she didn't even mention it in her essay. But we presented it not like an ordinary YouTube channel. It was a project that helped to increase the access to math knowledge, math education in Kazakh language for children from rural areas, because mainly Kazakh-speaking children who don't know Russian come from rural areas. And by that, we showed her as a change maker, because she saw the problem and she did what she could in that moment. So if you have time before application, you can do some maybe small projects, but those that are actually addressing some problems. Solution can be simple, but you do something that actually helps to improve the situation. But if you don't have time or other things, with things that you have, you can write an essay that, yes, that can help you to present yourself as a better candidate, as a more motivated candidate whose goals are more aligned with the goals of the program. So yes, essay can change situation a lot.
Any other questions? Don't be shy. It's your opportunity to have answers to your questions for free.
So if you are thinking about questions, did you raise your hand or not? Okay. So if you don't have questions for now, I can elaborate on previous also question. I know a person who has like over 10-year experience in the field of sustainability, but he wasn't admitted to a program when when a person with 1 year experience was accepted. Why? Because he used ChatGPT in his essay. He wrote it 1 day before the deadline, and he didn't show enough motivation. And also, since it was only 1 day before the deadline, he couldn't write it like high quality essay. And eventually, it was clear that his goals are different from the goals of the program. So he wasn't accepted, even if he's a very experienced candidate. So it's also an elaboration to your question, and also my tip for you: research the program very well. If you choose a right program, it's already like half of the journey, because if the program is aligned with your goals, if it's the program, for example, if you want to work in a tech sphere, you don't choose a program that it has partnerships with non-profit organizations or like organizations like United Nations. You have to choose a program which has connections with tech organizations, with Silicon Valley and etc. Astana Hub, for example. So yeah, if you choose a right program that is aligned with your goals, and with your values as well, it can be a change-making situation. My GPA is average. I had lots of acquaintances at my university who had a higher GPA, but they were admitted to like less competitive programs because I chose a program where my values aligned with the values of the program. And what are the values? We may like think about it from different perspectives, but if you read the program and they say, we want each student to be heard, that's already a value. They are inclusive and they are careful about their students. And you can say, I'm also careful about people whom I work with, that's why we are similar. You can imagine university as a person with whom you match in goals, in values. Also, any university has its mission, and your small mission or large mission should be part of this large mission. Usually, universities' mission, they are quite like bold, like we prepare change makers, something like that. So any mission can be fit into this mission actually, but you have to show this connection, like that your mission is part of their mission, and by admitting you, they are reaching their goal, and you will be their voice when you return to your country. And when you are there, you're also changing the situation in their university. You are helping their students to grow, and you are at the same time growing yourself. So you should think not only what I get, but also what I give during my time at the university and also after I graduate. And it can be a local change, but it also can be a global change, because for us, when I wrote an essay, I thought maybe if I write something too ambitious, I will look as a delusional person. But then I understood that these universities, they don't need a person who like dreams small. They need people who are bold, who dream big. So another advice is not to be afraid of writing about big dreams, even if now you don't have the expertise and knowledge to achieve these big dreams. If you think about, like, if you break down it into plans and you show that you are realistically are going to this goal, they can be convinced. So it's also about, like, you have to also, my advice is to follow those people who have this ability and learn from them. Those people who were already admitted to this kind of universities, it doesn't have to be only US, but you can see from their posts even that they can sell themselves. So you have to be able to sell yourself, because actually what your essay does, it sells your experience and your personality to this university.